People get ready, there's a train come. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All right, folks, it is Monday, and this is Nichols Live, and I am Larry Nichols, and we are live. Today, you might want to get this program when Alden gets it up on YouTube for Mr. Trump to listen to, because I hear a lot of talk about this shooting this weekend. I'm going to explain what I believe is the only way to effectively deal with the situation to which we find ourselves in today. Now, first off, let me say that if you know somebody that you want to get them to listen in, they can listen live on the phone by going to 401-283-6754. And when they get there, press 1. Now, they can also go to Leading Edge Radio, leadingedgeradio.com, and there they will be able to hear it. Just a second, I'm getting, okay, that's got a message there and got from Greg live and clear. All right. Now, by the way, if you want to call into the program, now I have a call, but caller, hold on for a second. Anybody who wants to call in is 501-499-6022. Now, before I get into what I wanted to say, we've got a caller. Caller, what you got?
Yes, good afternoon, Larry. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt your programming, but I did have a few questions for you. I defer to your judgment on how you'd like to proceed.
All right, well, go ahead. What are the questions? Let them rip.
Well, my first question, Larry, is your information that I've been observing over the last several weeks via YouTube, which has been a wonderful instrument for liberty in the country and in the world, indicates to me that you've got a lot to say in trying to, as you say, stop the juggernaut of the Hillary machine. And from my perspective, having done quite a bit of investigation so far and digesting of your information, it might be helpful for myself and for your listeners for you to give us a little more specificity about your previous service for the United States Army and for the government, and how you, specifically how you plugged into the Clinton political machine in Arkansas and then in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a story of my life, right?
Well, I think it'd be very helpful.
Let me say this. I was put in military here in Vietnam, 2 tours, Green Beret. And when I left Vietnam, I did contract work for the agency, CIA, in the day, and was all over the place. Now, in that day, when you did contract work, for everything you did, when you would go on a TDY, say for 3 months, meaning going into the field somewhere in the world, if you were gone 3 months, you had to come back and do a cooling off period of 3 months. So you kind of had to have a sideline job that occupied your time and justified you being out of town without raising a lot of questions by neighbors, friends, etc. Now, because I also knew the Senator Fulbright McClellan from Arkansas, because of some annex that I pulled, they knew me very well. And over the years, I was picked up by a Mr. Whit Stevens, who was a kingmaker in Arkansas. He and his brother, Jack Stevens, they owned Arkla Gas. They owned oil. They had the largest investment brokerage firm outside of Wall Street in the world in that day. And if you wanted to be dog catcher or governor in Arkansas, you had to be approved by them. Well, Mr. Witt made me his fair-haired boy. And it was that relationship, knowing politics, learning politics the way I did from Mr. McClellan and Fulbright, David Pryor, Dale Bumpers, having since I was 16 years old, been around it. They asked me to look at this guy that they wanted to be governor, and his name was Bill Clinton. And that's how I met Bill and Hillary and became the handler for them throughout all of their terms as governor, except the last one.
Okay, Larry, so I'm sorry to interrupt you, not to interrupt your train of thought, but just for clarification, then you had 2 tours in Vietnam before Saigon fell, which would have been what, 74, 75?
Right. I was there in 70, 71, and 71 and 72.
Okay, very good. I thank you for your honorable service, by the way. Then after 75, you then went to the CIA. And what were those years of service?
Oh, God. Well, it was from 73 and 74 all the way till Afghanistan in the 80s. Nicaragua was the last thing I did. I was involved with the Contras in Nicaragua, and that's when I blew out and said no more.
Okay. And so that was, let's see, Nicaragua was what, 80?
88, 89, 87, 88, 89.
Okay,
right
very good.
Managua 1.
Okay, very good. And do I understand it, Larry, that you reached the rank of colonel in the U.S. Army?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure did.
And so when did your Army career start?
And I believe it was 69 is when it started, early 69, January 69.
I see. So,
and then I was discharged in 74, I believe, officially. But I had literally been out since 73.
Okay, now, did you reach the rank of colonel before or after that?
No, after.
Okay, so
now,
that
another thing you will find, which the Clintons used against me, but it backfired on them. In the work that I was in, everything in your record was expunged. Obviously, because of the work I did in Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Afghanistan. If you got caught, you could not be a member of the service officially. But the good news was I kept records of everything I did. So when they tried that stunt, it didn't work.
I see. So in effect, then you're kind of, I believe we would call the term sheep dipped over into the CIA while still on the Army
right
role.
Yeah, it was back in that day, caller. It was really muddled up, buddy. There was so much going on that people were doing all sorts of things. All manner of things were happening back then.
Understood. Okay, so may I ask then, just to conclude on that point, you reached the rank of colonel sometime in the 1980s, and do you happen to recall when that might have been?
No, I got a message here. It sounds like this guy is the Spanish Inquisition. Got a listener. Who are you? Why all of this line of questioning?
Well, I think from my perspective, Larry, having looked at all of your information on the web, or trying to digest all of it, I'm very. There was a famous historian, a lady named Barbara Tuchman, who has passed on now. She wrote a book called The First Salute, which was the story of the first time the United States was, the colonies were recognized internationally as a sovereign entity. It's an interesting story, but her premise in history is that you you look at the motives and the means and the opportunity of men, and almost forensically, if you will. And through that lens, I think you can get a very clear picture of events. Now, in your particular case, I'm very intrigued by your honorable effort here, perhaps in the closing period of your life, to try to get to truth and to try to get to liberty in the country again. And so I think it's very important, based on everything that I've seen so far of your information on the web, for people to see that you are a credible person. And I don't have any doubt personally.
Yeah.
But
let me tell you something, listener. Let me tell you something right now. There is nothing that I did during my days of service, if you want to call it that I did that was honorable. Nothing. Maybe in my mind there was a period of time where I was God and country, but the majority of it was money. It was just money. And so I'm spending the rest of my life, buddy, trying to make amends for what I did. It's nothing that I'm proud of, nothing you should be proud of, nothing anyone should be proud of. You know, I'll be the first one to say I'm the sorriest scum of the earth that's ever lived. I admit it. I do. Now, had I not have lived that incredibly scummy life, I would have never met these people. I would have never been entrenched with them the way I was. And even then, you know, it didn't matter to me. It was just a game. It was just a game. Well, it's not a game now. It's not. And you're going to learn as we go on this journey to try to stop Hillary. And it's more than stopping Hillary. It's trying to stop the country from being destroyed. You're going to find that if I were the Pope, I would not be credible. I wouldn't be. Now, so when the Clintons, if you are a Clinton person, which you might be, you might not be, matters not to me, there's not much you're going to be able to say about me that I have not done. There's nothing bad that the media is going to allege about me that I do not want you to believe, because I've probably done worse. Don't judge me for what I say I am. Don't you dare do that. You hear me? Don't you dare do that. Judge me for those things that I can prove, because we're at a moment in time in our history, listener, and all of you, we're at a moment in time where it's hard to find the truth. It's hard to find the truth anywhere. I don't even know if there is truth except in God. So make me prove it. That's all I ask. Make me prove it. And well, I ask you to do one thing for me. Just one thing for me. Hold me to that standard. And then I want you to hold everybody else. You hear me? I want you to hold everybody else.
Yes, sir. And I think that's fair enough. And what I might say is what Barbara Tuchman was able to achieve in her writings of history is divining through in the pages of history the motives of men. And so far, it seems to me that your narrative in this closing chapter of your life does ring with truth regarding the motives of people, the interest in power, the interest in wealth, things of that sort. And so I think that's what gives your message credibility. And so it's on that basis that I think probably just people understanding your confession and understanding where you come from in your previous life and connecting that with a few nuts and bolts in terms of your service with the Clintons and in Arkansas and in Washington, that I think is helpful so that your message can get traction as people look to these next critical months in our country's history.
Well, what I hope will happen, and then I need to get back to today's program because there's stuff we need to go over, which has to do with my background in history, by the way, my living with the Mohairs. What I hope people will do is realize if the Clintons win, they will make this all about anybody that is out against them. You understand that? But it shouldn't be about anybody that is against them. It should be about them.
Right.
And that's how they win. That's how they disguise things. You see, they immediately turn and they say, golly, listener, 10 years ago, you robbed banks on weekends. And you sit there and you go, what? I never robbed banks on weekends. But then you see, how do you prove you didn't? Because the media will never give you a chance to respond. They'll print what they say about you.
Right.
But you'll never get to respond.
These are all pages from Rules for Radicals of Saul Alinsky, Hillary's kind of guideposts.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
So that's wrong.
All right, my brother, everybody's texting me and saying, get on with this program. But I appreciate you calling, and I appreciate your concern. I do.
Well, Larry, I thank you very much again. There is one connection that I'm interested in, and whether or not you have any knowledge of it. Are you aware of whether or not central banking and international central banking is in any way connected to the Clintons?
I am. But that's for another day, not today.
Very good, sir. Thank you very much.
Now, let me explain, though, right quick. I'm not brushing you off. I hope you understand.
Okay, very good.
We got a crisis that just happened this weekend that needs to be dealt with. But the international banking side of this is connected directly to Bill and Hillary, which was set up through the Clinton Foundation. They are deeply entrenched in the international monetary system, deeply. And they are positioned to benefit when it goes south. I hope that answers your question, at least to this point.
It does,
they are
sir.
Very much in.
And then along those lines, regarding the Clintons' connection to any sort of radical Islam through Huma, do you have any opinion there?
No, I do not.
Thank you, Ben. Okay. Well, I'll let you return to your scheduled talk, Larry. And again, I appreciate you taking the time to talk about these things, and I'll listen with great interest and with an open mind to your presentation.
Great. Thank you now, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Now, folks, I got a bunch of texts from people. A lot of you are concerned about the caller. Don't be. Don't worry. Don't be worried. I think he's a pure heart, pure interest. Either he is or he isn't. It matters not. The questions he asks are fair. Just not for this day. Not for this day. Today, what happened is going back to something that I have told y'all about for years. Any of you that have been with me that long. For years. Okay, I've just been told I missed the first commercial. And I've got to talk about this first commercial. Let me get it out of the way too. Folks, today is the day that I must achieve $400 for the treatment. Please, get it in. We got 20 so far. So we're 380 away. 380 away. And thank you, Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen was the first one to kick it off. So please, folks, 380's got to come in. I can't tell you how dire a situation it is for that. I just can't. Please help. Go to PayPal, and it's nicholslive@aol.com on PayPal. Send what you can. Please do it quick. Let's don't wait till the end of the program when nerves are shot and everything's gone. Please do it now. And you can go to Facebook, Larry Nichols, Conway, Arkansas, and there's a button, and you don't have to be with Facebook. You can use your debit card, credit card, punch that button there. I think it's a yellow button. It'll be there. Now, I tried for years to tell people that Muslims don't like queers. They don't. It's always been amazing to me that the queer community in this country was just so gracious to Muslims. And they never understood that they do not like queers at all, buddy. In their faith, you ain't going to Allah heaven if you're queer. Many of the suicide bombers, believe it or not, are queers. Why? Because they had to be. Because they don't get to go to Allah heaven unless they commit an act of martyrism. Now, they don't get a martyr's death. They don't get to have martyrs Allah heaven, but they at least get to go to Allah land. But they have to do an act of martyrism. Now, what's happened here this weekend is what I feared would come, and it has. You see, in America, there are things called hard targets and soft targets. Hard targets are things that we have got real good scrutiny, airports, train stations, hopefully nuclear plant, anyway, places that we have stiffened security. Soft targets are the grocery stores, the nightclubs. It was just a matter of time until they started checking into the soft target situation in this country. Now, listen to me. They got a 50-1 kill. 50-1. Maybe it's 49. I can't tell if they're saying 49 have died or 50. But anyway, let's just say 50-1 kill rate. 50-1. Now, folks, for any up and coming wannabe martyr, that's big time. Big time. And they achieved it easily by taking a soft target on. Now, this is incredible to me. I have heard this morning people talking from the government, including our black Muslim president, creep, Obama, say that, well, this was an act of terrorism, but it was not connected to they hadn't found any way it was connected to jihadists. Now, wait a minute. Let me just go back over this guy for a second. 2013, he was turned in by two co-workers for radical inclinations. They dealt with him for 8 months, let him go, didn't have anything on him. Then in 14, the same thing happened. They didn't do anything. Then he makes 2 trips to Saudi Arabia, comes back, and his co-workers thought he came back radicalized. 2 trips to Saudi Arabia, but he has no connection with anybody foreign or Middle Eastern, right? That's what they're telling us. This guy's just a lone wolf, American born and bred. Then his father denounces this tragedy and says he saw, he didn't know he was going to do this. He knew nothing about it. Yet his father has admitted throughout the years that he is in support of the Taliban. He is from Afghanistan and supports the Taliban. Now, if that's not bad enough, if that is not bad enough to where surely our leaders in our government, including the president, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, the head of the FBI, the attorney general, all of them, if that's not good enough, I'll be damned if this guy in the middle of the act of committing murder calls not once, but not twice, but 3 times. He literally calls them and says he's a part of doing it because of, or showing his solidarity with ISIS. Holy smokes. Now they can't even call and tell this damn government that they are fundamentalist Islamic ISIS followers. They can't even call and tell them they are. And our government people believe them. They just can't believe it. They just can't believe it. And I just saw Comey say these words. Just saw it. He said, listen, don't let somebody like this put us in fear. Don't live in fear. Don't live in fear. That's what they want. He's right. That's true. That is true. And he said, use it. Be aware of your surroundings. Well, now wait a minute. Be aware of your surroundings. Why? And he said, and if you see something, say something. Folks, do you realize what he just said? In the same press conference that he said somebody saw something, not once, but twice. Said something, not once, but twice. And they didn't do anything. And so now he tells us, if we see something again, say something. To what end? What is this about, y'all? What on earth is this about? Now, I will tell you, two people benefited from this tragedy. Two. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Yes, Trump and Hillary. Because if you ever read the book, The Genie's Out of the Bottle, that I wrote in 1998 or 99, whatever, whenever it was, I tell about the strategy. And you play rope-a-dope, go in your corner, let them beat on you, let the media beat on you, and then eventually there'll be an earthquake, a tornado, or something happen, and the media will get off of you and be looking at it, and then they'll forget about you. Well, look at what happened now. Now, all of a sudden, you know what? The email scandal, Benghazi, all that stuff, it's just disappeared. It's just disappeared. Remember the issue of Hillary being the nominee and the fact that she could hardly beat Bernie Sanders and how she's having trouble? Well, that's just disappeared now. You know what all the news is about? It's about this killing. It's all about this killing. Now, I said Donald Trump is a beneficiary. Yes, I did. Because you know what else is not being talked about now that's fixing to fall into the status of old news? I'll tell you. Wait a minute. Sheila just sent in. So, folks, we're 370 away. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much. You're not going to be hearing about that court case where that Mexican judge from Indiana that the media's been riding Trump over every day. That's gone away. So that's good for Trump. It's gone away. And by the time we settle down over this killing, that'll be old news. So he dodged a bullet there. Now, I did hear this morning from Carol Chaplin. She saw on TV, I believe, or heard it on the radio, I cannot say which, where there was some leader of the queer community that was saying that a bunch of the queers were loading up behind Trump now. Because you know what? Trump's position on toughening up on the Muslims being let into this country without being vetted don't look so bad now, does it? See, now you've got the queer community, the LBDFers and Gers, or whatever you call them. Those guys are scared to death because now they know what I've been trying to tell them for several years, which they should have heard, but I'm not the kind of guy they listen to. These puppies are coming after you. They don't like queers, and they will kill you. And they have now. They have drawn blood right here in America. Now, they've drawn blood in other countries. Don't think they haven't, but you just hadn't heard about it here. Matter of fact, in Orlando, there was a mosque where an imam was preaching, or whatever you call it. And that imam preached a sermon about how it was okay to kill queers. Can you believe it? Now, if I did a sermon in a Christian church talking about it's okay to kill Muslims, I'd be arrested. I would. But not Muslims. No, sir. But again, we're sitting here and we're talking about what everybody else is talking about in the way everybody else is talking about it. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to do my second commercial. And then I'm going to tell you what you should try to get to Mr. Trump, which is what we should do to stop this. Now, folks, we've gotten $30 in. Please, I have to get to the 400 today. So will you please help me? If I didn't have to have it, I wouldn't ask. But I cannot get back in the shape I was again last week. Now, they've changed the meds, so hopefully I won't have the reaction I had. I don't do real well on the medicine and stuff that they change. But if you will help me, please, I'll get the job done that I'm here to do. Please help if you can, if you will. There's 7,300 people listening right now. 7,300 and some odd people listening right now. Will you please help me get $400? Either 400 of you with $1 or one person with 400. I don't care today. It is that critical today that I meet my schedule on the medicine and the treatment. Please, will you please, somebody help? Now, what we need to do. Everything having to do with terrorism at present is turned over to the FBI. It should not be. It should not be. Hold on, we got another $10 from, well, Sheila sent another 10. Thank you, Sheila. Bless your heart, hon. Thank you. So now we're 360 away. Please help. What you got to get back to Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, listen to me. We have got to get back to states' rights. Now, in dealing with states' rights, one has to remember that I don't want to believe that to protect my family, I have to rely on the FBI, and the FBI has all this other stuff that they got to do. Why not do what states do, counties do, and local cities do, local governments do? States ought to set up. Now listen tight. States ought to set up a local terrorism task force. Thank you, Miss Carla sent in. Sent 5, I'm sorry. Carla sent 5. So 400, we're 355 away. Please, y'all, help, please. You need to set up, much like narcotics task forces, states need to set up local, county, and state terrorism task force. That's right. The state should get together and pass a law authorizing the state police to set up a terrorism task force that works in conjunction with county and local cities. And then, folks, everybody in your community, when you see something, you say something to your local police. And your local police turn it over to your local police terrorism task force. Folks, defend your home turf. Defend your home ground. Don't go giving it to the FBI, the federal government. That's what's got us in trouble. We've turned too much over to the federal government in the first place. I assure you that if states will set up the statewide, countywide, citywide, local terrorism task force, just like the narcotic one, where you train people locally, a lot of things will be safer. A lot. And then in that law that they pass, setting up these task force, terrorism task force, you pass something else. What is it? Well, I'll tell you what it is. We, ladies and gentlemen, are at war with Islam. Do you hear me? We're at war with Islam. We are at war with the religion, the faith, the nutty stuff, whatever you want to call Islam. We're at war with it. Now, whether we admit it, they have. They're at war with us. But for some reason, we just don't seem to want to declare war back at them. And that's got to end. That's got to end. We are this day under what is called a war footing with Islam. Do you hear me? We are under a war footing with Islam right now. And because of that, what I would suggest each state, county, and city, municipality do is require every follower of Islam to walk down to the courthouse and register. Oh, but my God, we're profiling, we're being ugly. Let me tell you, in World War II, ugly was what we did to the Japanese and the German Americans. We put them in internment camps. We did. Now, I'm not saying we got to do that today. We don't have to put them in internment camps, but I'll guarantee you this. We damn well better find out in every community who the Muslims are, because if you understand Islam, if you truly understand people that follow Islam, if they really are followers of Islam, they're not going to be tame. They may be tame right now, but they will go nuts. They will kill you. At some point in every Muslim's life, the rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates divide, and they have to make a choice. Do they go to Allah heaven or do they go to Allah hell? And they have to follow what their faith says. Now, guys, I'm telling you, there may be somebody that is a Muslim that you've known for 20 years, and they're just the nicest family on earth. And then one day, they get taken over for whatever the reason, however it comes, and they go kill about 20 people. And you'll get neighbors just like you've got with this creep. You will have neighbors that live next door to this creep that talk about how nice the guy he was. Couldn't believe he's just nice. They just can't believe he did this. Same thing happened with the guy in San Bernardino. Gosh, they didn't believe it. They were nice. You got to know. You've got to know. They may be nice, and they may go their entire life being nice. But they can turn. Because if they truly follow their faith, they will turn. They must turn. You know, that old imam preaching in that mosque about killing queers, he said it was humane to do it. Holy smoke. How do they say stuff like that and get by with it in this country? How do they get to do it? I can't do it. You can't do it. They can. They can. Then you got Trump sitting there. All Trump has said was, to this date, all he has said is, you know, we need to not bring in any more of these Syrian refugees. of which fully, according to CARE, 25% of are fundamentalist radical Islamists, 25% are. That means terrorists, guys. And we're bringing them in, and we ain't vetting them. We don't have any way to vet them. No way to vet them. That's all he said. And he's being lambasted for that. And then they're going to start on the big gun deal again. Oh my God. This guy bought, he bought an AR-15 semi-automatic high capacity clip rifle. They've got to be banned. Well, let me tell you, you're going to have to ban pressure cookers, because that's what the Boston bombers used. You're going to have to ban butcher knives, because that's what the Oklahoma guy that cut off the head used. And by the way, as I was told this morning, reminded this morning, the Oklahoma guy that cut off the head of his work, the person he worked with, the CEO of the company shot him and kept him from killing anybody else because he had a gun. You know, had people had guns in that club, guess what? Maybe there wouldn't have been 50. There might have been 10. There might have been 49. There might have been 48. There might have been 12. There might have been 2, but there might not have been 50. Make them register. And then use the terrorism task force to overtly and covertly and make it quite public you're doing it, the mosque. Because, guys, there is something going on in these mosques that's radicalizing these people right here. Now, of course, they all say it isn't. The mosques say, no, not here. We don't do anything to radicalize, and we turn over to the FBI. Anybody that we see doing this, somebody's doing it. And the only way you're going to be safe is to know that those mosques are being monitored. And they got to know those mosques are being monitored. And they got to know that there's more people watching them than the FBI, because they know that the FBI is limited in number and the FBI is limited in scope. They know it. We seem to be the only ones that don't. So, Mr. Trump, if you're listening to me right now, if you're listening to this, stand up. Stand up. Oh, they're really going to jump you about it. They truly are. The media will have a field day. There is no doubt. No doubt. I was listening, coming home from the hospital, and I heard a bit of this guy filling in for Rush Limbaugh, just a little bit, and he read like the New York Daily newspaper headline about the killing in Orlando. You know what it said? 50 killed in Orlando. Thank you, NRA. Don't worry, they're going to turn this to the NRA. They're going to turn this to the weapons. They're going to turn this against any of us that believe people should be allowed to be armed to protect and defend themselves. Sure enough. So, Mr. Trump, they're going to get you no matter what. They are going to ridicule you, make fun of you, attack you, no matter what. Simply because you said we just are not bringing any more Muslims in until we get some system to where we can vet them and know who we're bringing into this country and what their intentions are. If they will roast him over that, I think it's safe to say you might as well go ahead and tell the American people what truly must be done to save us. Because the only thing, Mr. Trump, listen to me, the only difference between today and the day when we are forced to start monitoring and knowing and making Muslims register. The only thing between today and when that day comes, because we're forced to do it, are the number of American lives that are going to be lost until we finally have to do it. Now that's a fact. And if we never do it, then I'm telling you here today, ladies and gentlemen, that you're seeing the beginning of the war that ends all wars, Armageddon. Jesus will have to intercede. He'll have to come. And he'll truly have to fight the battle of Armageddon. All right, guys, we're down to $355. We've got 15 minutes left. This is the part of the program that I hate so. I hate so. Please go to PayPal. Some of you, all of you, any of you, one of you, will you please do it now? Please do it now. I can't make it without you. I do not have a way to do it without you. I think for the next week or two anyway, you're going to find that what I can say and what I can do will be of value. I think you will. I hope you will. And we're going to move as an army. We are. We're going to step up and we're going to stand in the line and we're going to hold the line. And we're going to do everything in our power to save this country. Everything in our power. But I have to have your help today. Please, today. If you're out there, if I mean anything to you, please help today. My time's up for asking. I'm firmly of the opinion it looks bleak for me today. If it does, I will be sick tonight and I will be sicker tomorrow. And I can't just keep getting down like that and trying to come back. The doctors are tired of playing with me. They really are. So, if you can. Now, Miss Sheila sent $5 again. Sheila, thank you, hon. You're doing it all by yourself. Bless your heart. You're trying. I got this from Greg. He said, absolutely right on task force. CARE and Muslim Brotherhood has infiltrated and has been installed in the highest security clearance position in the nation by design. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. They're all over the place, folks. And what's scarier still is they're getting a big, big, big foothold in making the laws, the rules. They really are. Now I'm asking you, Mr. Trump, hear me, please. The American people, at least a goodly number of American people, will stand behind you if what you say you mean, and if what you say you can justify. Now, I hate to jump on a cripple, which is what politicians do, but you must, Mr. Trump, realize this event, as tragic as it is, can help us save our nation and save thousands of lives. Because very soon, people will forget about this event. It'll be old. Nobody will think about it no more. They won't think about it anymore. And what's crazy is our ability to forget about this is getting faster, just like everything in this time and compendium, time compression compendium. I mean, the closer we get to this country losing it, the faster things are going. And I'm telling you now, things like this big shock of the biggest murder in the history of the nation. You know what, guys? People are forgetting stuff now so fast that it almost like didn't happen. Oh my God. Mary Ellen sent 100. Thank you, Mary Ellen. God bless you, Mary Ellen. Thank you so much. Thank you. And this is from Sheila. She said, I wish everyone would send $1 each. It's simple to do. I wish they would too, Sheila. Dear God, I wish they would. And Mary Ellen, I'm still not going to be able to talk my wife into letting me take the blanket you made me to the hospital because it'll get blood and stuff all over it, and she doesn't want that. It's beautiful. It truly is. Mary Ellen made a blanket that, y'all, is a piece of art, and I mean it. It truly is. I'm not, a great artist kind of person, but I'm telling you, that thing is something to see. Mr. Trump, you can justify the things I have said if you understand truly that we are a nation at war. Now, if you don't believe we're a nation at war, then Mr. Trump, you're no different than all the rest of them. You're no different. And, and we can say, well, we've got to set up a system to screen these people coming in from Syria. We can say that until the cows come home. That's great talk. Great rhetoric. Just can't do it. Them people aren't on computers over there. There's no way to really know what they are. Look at it this way. We vet, supposedly, the Afghan and Iraqi people that are working on our bases with our soldiers, people in their army working with our soldiers that we're training. And what do? They turn around and kill us. They turn around and kill our soldiers that have trained them. You can't trust a Muslim. You can't trust those creeps. Muslims are scum. You cannot trust them. You can't. It's okay for them to lie to us. Matter of fact, that's a military plus for them. Lying to infidels is acceptable, just like in a war, we lie to the enemy and make them believe our troops are one place when they're really someplace else. That's a military maneuver, deception. Well, that's what they call lying to us. It's deception, permissible. This from Carol. The Phoenix LGBT organization has a 50,000 membership. God. Oh, but they're supporting Trump. All right. Yes, they're supporting Trump. Mary Ellen sent me the picture of the blanket on my text thingy and said, you take it to the hospital or I will have to make another. It's washable. Thank you. I'll try to tell my wife. Trust me. But did you hear that? 50,000 queers in Phoenix are now coming out and supporting Trump. Trump, listen. You see, if the queers come out and support you, guess what? You break up Hillary's broken coalition. Her election depends on the queers voting for her. No way queers would ever vote for a conservative, right? This is the time. Mr. Trump, use it. They're going to use it. You use it. But you use it for the right, for good. Make my grandchildren children safe. Make my grandchildren safe, Trump. Do it. Or I assure you I'll work as hard to destroy you as I will Hillary Rodham Clinton. You do it. You do what's right for this nation. Do it. Carol said, and they say more to follow. They will. Guess what? The queers are scared. They should be scared. They should be scared. These Muslims are out to kill them. They're out to kill them. And then there's a thing called Lahidi. You know what Lahidi means? Literally translated, Lahidi to a Muslim means one up. Basically one up. This guy got a 50-to-1 kill ratio, so somebody out there is wanting to commit Lahidi, which is to do better than that guy did and get to be the big martyr. And then there'll be somebody try to be the bigger martyr than that person. What you got, Alden? Okay, he said we got 3.5 till the bumper music goes on. He's shutting the phone lines off. So, folks, please, can you help on PayPal? Won't you please? We were 350 short thereabouts. Then Mary Ellen sent 100, so we're 250 short. Will somebody please do it? Are you out there? Please. And by the way, tell Mr. Trump what I said. Hello, Army. You're out there. All of you. Get hold of Trump's office and tell him, all of you, make that phone call today. Make that phone call. Tell Trump to listen to what I said, or at least tell him what I said. Do it. Make him hear. Make him hear. Make him know what Carol sent in, that the Phoenix queers, 50,000 of them, they're for him. Why? Why are they for him? Well, it's not because they like him. It's because they're scared. And they at least understand that his attempt to stop bringing in Syrian refugees without being vetted, that's suicide. That's killing them. That's what they think. It's killing them because they are coming to kill them. Don't worry. Don't worry, you LBD, C, and E community. Don't you worry. These 50 aren't the last of you that will die. You're not. They're not. They're coming after you. Remember what that imam said. It's humane to kill you, you LBDers. Yep. Humane to kill you in the world of Islam. And don't forget, when you hear all this rhetoric about this killing, and you hear our black creep Muslim of a president saying that, yeah, there's just nothing showing that this terrorism was linked anyway to any group, you know, ISIS or anything like that. You remember when he says that, when the FBI director says, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, just go on about your life, see something, say something. Remember, people saw something, said something twice, and they didn't do anything, and he still killed 50 people. And then he closed by saying, if you see something, say something. I'm sorry, folks, remind them, hey, they did see something, and they did say something. And the FBI didn't do a damn thing. Couldn't. Get the money in if you will. I'll try to be here tomorrow.
Where's the rainbow?
See ya.
Way up high, there's a land that I've heard of.